All right, on the phone from Winnipeg in Manitoba, Canada, is Roland Cote from Big City Filter. Good evening, mate. Well, good morning to you. I've got you out of bed.
Well, good evening to you.
So, we were just talking off air. How is it over there? You said it's rather mild. It's just below freezing.
Well, it's mild from my account.
So, well, you'd be looking at, I suppose we call it winter. You call it, what is it over there, fall, or I don't know what you used to call it over there. But what?
Yeah, it's winter here.
Yeah, what temperatures do you look like getting down to around there?
Well, I think fairly normal would be minus 30 Celsius.
Yeah, you can keep
time,
that.
and we're at 0 right now, so it's pretty mild.
Yeah, heat wave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, sir, we've been trying to organise this for a little while, and we just had the time now. So, Big City Filter, give us the rundown on Big City Filter. Who is Big City Filter?
Well, that is myself and my wife. I was in a rock band for a number of years called Pushing Daisies. We did quite a bit of stuff as an independent artist.
Yep.
And it's a bit of a long story, but I had convinced the band members to go country. I want to say nearly 10 years ago.
Okay.
And we went through a whole process of trying to find the right people to record, and just went through a whole journey. And through all of that, I really fell in love with writing country music with my wife, and we just decided to start our own thing, and we called it Big City Filter. Yep. And we found a few key people in Nashville who were able to help us out with some of the recording stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's how everything came together.
All right, now you've released 2 singles now? Yeah,
we've released 2 singles since, I believe it's April of 2019.
Yep.
And it's a bit of a slow process because we're quite picky with how everything should be production wise. But really quite happy with the way things are coming together.
Now the second song, which is It's Over Now, which we'll play soon after the interview. What's the story behind that?
It's Over Now. You know what? That one is a little bit interesting because the way it was written was I had a drum loop that I was writing against, which is a bit of a different process for me. Normally I'll write with an acoustic guitar.
Yep.
Come up with the song that way, but this way, this time I played a bass line against this drum loop, and then wrote the vocal melody against that. So it was a little bit of a different process for writing, and then the story came after.
And the story was?
The storyline came afterwards.
Yep. Can you delve into the storyline? What's the storyline about?
Yeah, It's Over Now is about somebody who realizes that the relationship that he's in is done.
Yep.
And he's kind of realized that there were mistakes that were made that he just can't go back and change, and he's just realizing it and singing about it.
Fair enough. Which is great for country music because we like that. You're telling a story, so.
Yeah, it's a hurtin' tune.
A hurtin' tune. There you go. All right, now new music. You said you might have a new song coming out in about February. What about an album? Are you going with that? Are you looking at an album this year?
Yeah, I think the plan is that we're going to do an EP.
Yep.
And we're thinking somewhere around the 6-song mark. And that'll probably be around June, we're thinking.
Mm-hmm. Now, gigging over in Canada, I'm a bit interested to hear about this. How do you get around with it being so cold?
How do we get around?
Yeah, well,
we drive mostly.
Oh, yeah, very good. No, I mean, it's so cold over there during the winter time. Do you get many gigs in the winter time, or is it more, a summertime thing over in Canada? I've never been to Canada myself, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, we do. We live normally here. It's we're so used to the weather. I mean, when it's really stupid cold, like minus 30, minus 40 degrees Celsius with the wind chill.
Yeah.
It gets really bad, but I mean it's quite normal for us, most of the time you hear us cursing. What the heck were our ancestors thinking coming over here? But it does make for a really good creative playground for musicians, because a lot of times the bands won't want to go out.
Yep, so they spend a lot of time inside. Yeah.
Spend time inside, and there'll be songwriting and whatnot. But, like I said, the weather right now is quite mild, so everybody's skating outside or tobogganing or, doing fun outdoor stuff.
Well, mate, 0 is crazy for us. So, you wouldn't see us going out in 0.
Well, for us, this is like almost T-shirt weather. Maybe not quite, but
yeah.
It is really warm.
Fair enough. Now, other than looking at writing an EP or something like that, but what about music videos? You going down that track, or?
Well, that's a great question, because the industry has changed so much that it's just a question of where do you put your money and your resources.
Yep.
And we're finding right now the main thing is to record, get the EP out, play a bunch of shows, and the video concept is really secondary. If anything, it'll probably be a really short video for maybe some Facebook advertisement, get some people led towards maybe the Spotify campaign, something like that. But no, I haven't really thought too much about videos.
Fair enough. Now, I'm just looking at your bio here on your website, and I'm interested to see that my name's on there.
Yeah.
Well, there you go, eh?
Yeah.
Famous all over the world.
Yeah, you were actually quite instrumental in helping us get going right at the beginning, when right around April of last year.
Yep.
It was really just a kind of a little bit of a social experiment to see if there would be some interest beyond Canada, because with my previous band, I did a lot of the radio tracking myself.
Yep.
But it was mostly just Canada. And this time around, I wanted to really get a sense of where people would be interested in our style of music, seeing as we were doing country. And I really found it quite interesting to see how interested people in Australia and the UK, especially, were about our style of music.
Yep. No, it's great, because looking at you've got reviews from South Africa and all other places, the Netherlands, Belgium, and all that sort of stuff. So as my little blurb says here, it's a great sound, a great vocal, and now country music vibe. So yeah. It's I enjoyed it, and I really look forward to playing some more stuff when it does come out from Big City Filter.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, we're really, really quite happy, because every time somebody kind of describes who we are and who we sound like, if they're going to compare to other artists,
yep.
It's not always the same. There's different people pull different references from different pieces of where they hear our music is coming from, which is really unique. And I find especially the live sound, people draw different things from when we play live than when they're hearing the recording.
Yep.
And sometimes you hear the same artists. You know, some people will say things like Sugarland or Lady Antebellum, which I guess because there's the vocal duet component.
Yep.
Those seem like some of the obvious references. But people will also pull things from some of the more classic rock side of things, like the Eagles or Fleetwood Mac,
yep.
You know, that kind of thing, which is kind of really cool to us because that is a lot of the influences that we have and where we pull for our, you know, inspiration from.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Well, you know, playing in a rock band, you know, you would have had that inspiration from the Eagles and all that. But what actually turned you? Why did you turn to country? Why?
Well, you know, I made friends with a gentleman who's a country music promoter in Canada.
Yep.
And he was the first guy to bring Kiss to Canada in the 70s. And he grew his business from nothing to quite a large business. And through the grapevine, I met people who introduced me to him just over the telephone because he's about 30 hours away from where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Also Canadian. And he gave me some tickets to Keith Urban's show for the whole band because I had asked him politely, and he obliged. So we got 12 tickets, fifth row from the stage, and we got to see Keith Urban. And wow, that just blew my mind. Myself and my wife wrote, I want to say, 10 country songs that week.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so I have to say it's Keith Urban's fault.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, we claim him, but he's not actually an Aussie. So he's a Kiwi. So he was born in New Zealand. So there you go.
Really?
Yes. Born in New Zealand and moved here when he was young. So, and then now lives in the US. So.
Well, I did not know that.
There you go. And one of your guys that you claim, Gord Bamford. He actually is Australian.
That I did know.
Yeah, not far from. Grew up not far from where we are in Melbourne. He grew up in I think it was a place Kilmore or Kyneton, one of those things out in Melbourne's northwest. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we got to see him at a small venue here in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I think it was last year, and I think it was a dive bar tour or something like that. They called it.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good, actually. We had a great time.
Yeah, I've seen him live too. I saw him here with the Wolf Brothers and Lee Kernaghan, so it was good as well.
Fantastic.
All right, mate. Well, now before I do let you go, do you, other than Keith Urban, do you listen to any other Australian country music?
I can't say that I do listen to a whole lot of it, other than the stuff that I've heard from your show.
Yep.
To be rather honest, because we don't get a whole lot more than what they feed us on the radio.
Correct. Yeah.
And unless we're on Spotify or Apple Music or something like that, just having to listen. You know, that's. I haven't really heard a whole lot of country music from Australia, other than, like you said, Keith Urban, but that doesn't count now.
No. Well, we still claim him, mate. We still claim him. So, yeah, he's been here nearly all of his life, so we'll still claim him.
Okay, good.
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, look, I'm going to let you wander off back to bed.
Sounds great.
And I'll thank you very, very much. And I look forward to speaking to you again when the new single comes out.
Great. Well, thanks so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
No problem. Folks, this is It's Over Now by Big City Filter.
Couple miles back down the road, was it something I said? Baby, I don't know. Back then we were just a couple rolling stones, just trying to figure out how love goes. Kinda wish last, but I hold some dreams stuck in the past. Man, I wish I could have told you a whole lot more, but something kept me from that before. This heavy feeling's coming on. Every time I hear a damn love song, I'm sick and tired of living life fast. The women and the beer never last. What I thought wasn't what I had. Took a while till I saw it clear. I was a fool not to keep you near. All you wanted was to hold my hand, but now you're holding some other man's. This heavy feeling's on my mind. Every time I go back inside, I'm holding on, I'm staying strong. Every time I look at your photograph, it's what gets me through. Ain't got no chance at this romance. I guess I just need to face that it's over now. It's over now. Couple miles back down the road, was it something I said? Baby, I don't know. Back then we were just a couple rolling.